Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to NHK, the governments of Germany and France have agreed to become joint shareholders in the leading European defense firm KNDS's. German government announced that it intends to acquire a 40% stake in the Netherlands-based armaments manufacturer, which is currently 50% owned by the French government. KNDS, formed through the merger of German and French defense companies, produces key military equipment, including the German military's Leopard 2 main battle tank. In a joint statement, both nations expressed their ambition to develop KNDS into a leading global defense company to bolster European sovereignty and defense capabilities. This move follows the recent cancellation of a joint fighter jet project that also involved Spain. It highlights Europe's growing focus on defense integration amid security concerns, such as the ongoing Russian invasion of Ukraine and pressure from U.S. President Donald Trump for Europe to increase its military self-reliance. According to a report by the Liberty Times, the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance, comprising the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, has issued a rare joint warning. The alliance stated that frontier AI models are advancing at an unprecedented pace, with capabilities evolving in months rather than years. These next-generation models could soon drastically enhance cyber attack capabilities, enabling even low-skilled actors to execute highly complex cyber attacks that previously required professional hacking groups. This warning coincides with mounting national security concerns in the United States. Recently, the U.S. government took action by instructing the AI safety startup Anthropic to restrict foreign nationals from accessing its advanced Fable 5 and Mythos 5 models. Although Anthropic has implemented safety guardrails, officials fear these models could be exploited for military or intelligence purposes, such as identifying software vulnerabilities and writing exploit code. In response to these emerging threats, the Five Eyes Alliance urged both businesses and governments to proactively deploy AI to bolster their cyber defense mechanisms. This includes accelerating vulnerability detection, reducing incident response times, and adhering to fundamental cybersecurity principles. 10 years have passed since the historic referendum on Britain's departure from the European Union. According to a new poll conducted by research firm YouGov, nearly 60% of Britons now believe the decision to leave the EU was a mistake. Specifically, the data indicates that only 30% of respondents feel the country was right to vote for Brexit, while 57% now view the decision as incorrect. As NHK reports, the anniversary has been marked by growing calls for Britain to rejoin the regional bloc, highlighted by a recent National Rejoin March in central London. While critics argue that Brexit has caused negative economic consequences, particularly regarding trade with the EU, the current Labour government has stated it has no plans to reverse the decision. However, the government is actively engaging with Brussels to simplify trade procedures for agricultural products, aiming to remove market barriers and boost the UK's economic growth. According to a report by Lianhe Zhaobao, satellite data analysis reveals that more than 400 large vessels, primarily oil tankers, have gathered in the waters east of the Strait of Hormuz following talks between the United States and Iran in Switzerland. Many ship operators remain hesitant to set sail as the details of the ceasefire agreement and related security mechanisms have not been fully finalized. The Strait of Hormuz, a critical global energy choke point, was closed again by Iran following Israeli military actions in Lebanon, despite a brief resumption of shipping after a prior U.S.-Iran memorandum of understanding. Nonetheless, there are signs of returning confidence. On Monday morning, 4 Qatari LNG carriers successfully transited the Strait, marking the highest daily count since tensions escalated in late February. Additionally, the easing of the U.S. maritime blockade has facilitated smoother movement for Iranian tankers. Technical negotiations between the U.S. and Iran continue in Switzerland to establish a conflict de-escalation mechanism and ensure the strait remains open. Industry analysts emphasize that a return to normal shipping flows will ultimately depend on a finalized agreement and sustained regional stability. According to a report by Lianhe Zhaobao, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Defense Minister Israel Katz, and IDF Chief of Staff Zamir issued a joint statement reaffirming that the Israeli military will continue its operations in southern Lebanon. The high-level security meeting concluded with the assertion that military actions will persist to eliminate security threats to Israeli soldiers and citizens, destroy militant infrastructure, and maintain the Israel-controlled security zone in southern Lebanon. Netanyahu further emphasized that the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, possess full freedom of action in the region and will remain stationed in the security zone until all security requirements are fully met. This development comes directly after the first round of negotiations between U.S. and Iranian delegations in Switzerland, following their Memorandum of Understanding, MAUE. Iran has consistently linked the Lebanese conflict to these diplomatic talks. Notably, the MOU's primary article explicitly calls for an immediate and permanent cessation of military operations across all fronts, including Lebanon, while also demanding the preservation of Lebanon's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Despite these diplomatic efforts, Israel's leadership remains steadfast in its military objectives. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.